Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of D-List Diaries.
Hello, hello.
Hey, hey.
I always feel like it's always the after party.
Yeah, always shimmying, always shimmying. Everyone looks beautiful, smiling bright. I love to see it.
Yeah, Kirsten, tell us about this hair, honey.
Okay, so Gina, I'm going to need your help tomorrow because obviously the pin curls are falling. You know, we have our photo shoot coming up for our D-List Diary, and I'm super excited. Y'all look beautiful. Y'all's hair looks good as well. But I'm going to try to sleep with this as tight as I can, but I'll need your help in the morning if you don't mind. Pretty please.
I'm here for it.
You're our best friend with benefits.
Yes.
Wink, wink, wink.
Slay me, bae. Slay me, bae.
Oh, watch out.
Hashtag slay me, bae.
Yeah, we have a photo shoot tomorrow because we have run out of really cool pictures that we can use when promoting this podcast. So we're going to take some new ones.
I'm sure everyone's sick of seeing our same neutral, same outfit over and over.
Oh, 100%.
And how excited are we to hang out with Katie again? I freaking love her.
Katie is our photographer who did our amazing photos last time, and she's just a magician.
She's so sweet. She's so invested.
Yeah, she's a sweetheart. I'm super excited to see her tomorrow. And she also gives us confidence too as we're shooting, you know, because you need that. You want to get comfortable doing the shoot so that the photos can turn out super organic. And it's we're smiling, we're hugging.
Woman.
Yeah. So our last photo shoot was great with her. And I know this one is going to be amazing. So you guys have something to look forward to.
We're rolling out the content.
Ooh.
Hey.
In the spirit of content, let's get to it. So just going to put it out there, we're not even going to talk about this most recent episode of Married at First Sight because, quite frankly, it was a snooze fest. It's just very hostile. They're having housewarming parties. They're all mad at each other for whatever reason. Let's give it a few weeks. Let them get to know each other. Let them work out the kinks. See who really likes each other, see who doesn't. But I'm not into it right now.
I mean, there are so many episodes. It's ugh. I'm not to say I'm so thankful for those avid followers out there that watched all of our episodes, but you have to be so committed to really keep up.
Yeah, and there's certain episodes, it's like that meme, this meeting could have been an email. We could have done 20 minutes of housewarming parties. They're all talking about the same thing. They're all hostile. They're all mad at each other for something or fighting over tacos. I don't need to see it. I have better things to do with my hour and a half on a Tuesday night.
We're #booked and busy. We ain't got time.
Ooh.
Period. And you know what's so crazy though? Because we had such a fun housewarming party. Shaquille and I, we had a really cool theme. My brother had catered the food. My cousins came, his close friends came. I don't understand why they're having such a hostile time. I hate to hear that.
That was one of my best filming days. We had so much fun. We made specialty margaritas. I remember I made spicy ones. We grilled tacos. Yeah, we had a great time.
You got the taco party?
Yeah, I got the taco party.
Yeah, they were everyone wants a taco party. Only one of you can have it.
Sorry.
We really wanted it. And they were let's give Gina and Clint something since their honeymoon was such a shit show. So we gave you tacos.
Let's talk about it.
Kirsten loves that line. Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
And then Kirsten, your cousins we had a luau theme and they came in their nice looking music themed clothes and try to break into our luau. I was come on in. And then I tried to break into your housewarming and your producers were get your butt back inside.
It's crazy because you were always welcome at our house, but the producer is no. Every time you tried to come over and slide the notes and do all the things, I'm just let her come in here. It's no big deal.
Yeah, because you guys were neighbors.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. That is their fault. They put us directly next door to each other, so I am not to blame for wanting to visit my neighbor.
Exactly.
I'm not sorry.
Yeah, you get close with your neighbors.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not right now, but
Nicole and I we were always close. Even when we used to travel to after party, in LA, we would be on the same floor, sometimes next door. And I'm this is perfect because I always felt safe knowing she was there with me. I'm
Aww.
Nicole will save me. She will protect me.
That's really sweet.
Yes, because I'm
very
such a
sweet.
scary cat.
Were you guys beside each other for right after the weddings?
Mm-hmm. Yep, next door.
Wow.
We've been together forever. She's actually my wife, honestly.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
We were next door at the wedding, in our apartments, at some after parties. I was like airdropping. I think at the reunion, I was like, go hang out at the shack. I was airdropping her notes because we were that close.
Oh my God, I
Yeah.
love it.
Hilarious.
A new level of invasive, but that's who I am.
I love it. That's why I love you.
Love you too.
On the topic of housewarming, though, I wanted to get into our email because we got an email from someone with questions.
We got an email.
We got an email.
We got an email.
The question was about if compensation and financial stuff. Nicole, you can get more into it if you want on what exactly it said. So she's our official correspondent and she's answering the emails.
So we got our first email. Hooray. Thank you, Christina, for your questions.
Where's Christina from?
I was about to say the same thing.
She didn't say, but let's put her she's from Phoenix, let's say.
So Christina from Phoenix.
So she is just asking us some really great questions about the finances of participating in the show. And there are certain things that we just can't discuss because of our NDAs, and we're not trying to get sued. But other things such as like who pays for the weddings and the rings and the housewarming parties and dates and groceries and whatnot. So I can start, you guys can jump in. But basically the rings were given to us by James Allen. We had to shoot some very funny promo ads that they never ended up showing, but we got the rings. So thank you, James Allen. We still appreciate you. And the dresses, I don't know who actually paid for the dresses. I'm assuming the show, but maybe the wedding store gifted them. Do you guys know?
I'm not sure.
I don't know, actually. They were from Adorn.
They were from Adorn Bridal. But yeah, the weddings were taken care of. They asked for our input and our husband's input before the weddings, and they created these beautiful weddings. And thankfully, we didn't have to cover that because I don't know where we would have come up with like the however many thousands of dollars in 2 weeks. And then living expenses, it was kind of just you're on your own. I mean, we didn't have to pay to live in the shared apartment, but we still had to pay for our own apartments. If you heard us mention Carla last week living in a storage unit, we were jealous because we all paid rent in our own apartments.
Which were used sometimes.
And date nights and stuff like anything the show planned for us, they took care of, thankfully, which was nice. But I'm going to assume they had special deals with the restaurants or venues or wherever we were because we would film at off times where they were maybe not open or they close off a special area to us or they got promotion. So we didn't really have to pay for that. But everything else like groceries, food, all of that was all on us. But it was kind of comparable to day-to-day living. I mean, I don't know if you guys agree or not, but I wasn't spending extra on things except my nails, hair, clothes.
Same.
All the beauty.
Yeah, I agree. And I remember not long after our season, wasn't there some like scandalous article that came out about how Kinetic like doesn't feed the people on Love is Blind, like all these things. I remember reading it and I was like, we were fed. So just to clear the air on that, we were totally fine. Like I feel like we were fed almost more than what we wanted to eat. I don't know how you guys felt on that, but I thought it was funny. I was like, maybe they're not eating on Love is Blind, but we definitely were.
We were definitely eating. And sometimes I'm like, I'm not going to eat while we're filming because I don't want to smack on my food. And then you can hear it through the microphone and then you can see the food while I'm talking. I'm like, no, I'm just going to wait till after filming. But one time they did catch me when I was starving. And when I tell y'all I was eating that chicken salad like nobody's business from Waldo's, and I was like, Shaquille, that's when I was about to get hostile. I was like, Shaquille, you better not even play with me today because let me finish this salad and then I'm going to have something to say to you. But we always ate. Like, it was always plenty of food, but I really hope that people weren't starving on Love is Blind. That would be awful.
The only time I feel like we didn't eat was just due to timing. Like, oh, we have to be somewhere at 5:00 and work ends at 5. So riddle me that, how we're going to get dressed and ready and eat and all the things. But it wasn't because they were withholding food. It was more just not enough time. But speaking of, I mean, these topics are just flowing into each other. It actually came out, I think, yesterday or the day before that part of that lawsuit that you're talking about with the scandal of them not being fed on Love is Blind and not having mental health support and having to sleep in these horrendous conditions, which not our situation, so we don't know, but same production company. They won a case. The National Labor Relations Board, they agreed that the Love is Blind contestants can be considered employees and not independent contractors. So I don't know exactly what is going to come out of that, but I feel like that's huge for reality TV in general, because as independent contractors, you get whatever they offer you and you get that and that's it. But as employees, you have the right to unionize, and minimum wage is taken into effect, and certain hours and all of these things. So I don't know if they're going to actually take action on that, but I know that's been in the works for like 2 years. So that's huge.
I know. And that's actually very interesting because, like, in the salon world, right? Like, my team, they're W-2 employees. And I've been a subcontractor and I've been an employee before, but it's like, I think sometimes a lot of businesses will take the subcontractor route just for like the sheer fact of not having to pay taxes, but then they still treat the person as an employee. So like when it comes down to something as simple as hourly, like if we were to film, for instance, as an employee, they would have to set us to cap out at full time, which is 40 hours a week. And you guys know full and well, we are filming way more sometimes than 40 hours a week. And they would have to pay us overtime past that. And so that's so interesting. I wonder how that would go into like how they're paid. You know, like if you really added up the time, like what we were, not to get into what we were paid, but like if you added up the time, it probably wasn't even equal to minimum wage. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
It is interesting, but I think it makes sense, because when you sign the contract, you are not signing for a certain set of hours. So it's not saying you're going to film X amount of hours a week. It's just like you film from this date to this date, but you don't have a certain set of hours. You just have timing. So it's kind of just a free for all. Like we could have you no days this week or every day this week, but I'm interested to see where that goes. That's a huge accomplishment for the people who have been fighting for it. But at the same time, I feel like not every show is the same. So even though it's the same production company, we were not mistreated. Again, disagree with me if I'm wrong, but even though it was like a mental game, we were not mistreated in the traditional sense.
Yeah, they're literally like taking our orders. You know, our producers a lot of times were almost like
Assistants.
personal assistants in the regard that they're like, hey, give me your order. This is what we're ordering from.
Walking our dogs.
Yeah, walking our dogs for us. So I think we were taken care of for sure.
Yeah. It's always so funny though when we're like watching reality TV and they're like sitting down, going to the restaurants and talking, and then the next thing you know, the server acts like they're taking their order and the food comes out like immediately. It's so funny. I'm like
pre-ordered.
We know they pre-ordered the food.
Got to make it feel like reality.
Right.
I was always eating, so I'm not complaining about that. But again, another great segue. Wow, it's like the fates are just falling upon us. Reality TV. I don't know if you guys will be as excited as I am, but Nicole Richie and Paris Hilton, it is the 20th anniversary of A Simple Life, and they did a 3-part reunion special on Peacock where they turn their epic song, Sana Sa, into an opera. I've only watched 1.5 episodes, but so far I'm invested, and they still crack me up. And normally I don't like to watch people act stupid, and that's literally what The Simple Life is, but the way they do it is just so genuine and funny, and I'm very excited about it. So I cannot wait to finish it later. Are you guys going to watch it?
I would like to. Yeah, I loved that show. I thought it was so funny.
Yeah, they like go back to the original town and they hang out with the people that they were working with on the first show or the original show. And it's very funny. That's what I'm going to say about that. But I'm overjoyed.
You'll have to share it with us. I'll have to watch it.
So our season is out.
Is anyone watching it? Is anyone rewatching it?
I kind of want to. I don't know that I'll like fully invest in all of it.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I kind of want to go back and see things that I might have missed that would be funny. Even the way like we all interacted together, you know? I think it'd be interesting.
There's no way. I'm not watching that. No.
You didn't even watch it the first time.
Right. I stopped watching at episode 7. There's no way I'm going to sit and relive that. And then people are going to start searching on our Instagram to see what we're up to and what's going on in our lives. So, hey guys, when you do search for us, search D-List Diaries and subscribe on all platforms to our podcast. Whoop, whoop.
There you go.
There you go. Nice.
I definitely want to rewatch it and watch everyone else's situation, because the first time we watch it, I was very focused on what was going on with me and Chris. And, you know, it was the first time seeing it. So I was like, okay, other couples are doing things, but I wasn't as invested. But now that I know what happens and I've seen all of my scenes, I want to see what goes on with you guys, because we were friends at the time, but now we're so close. So even Kirsten, when you were talking before about the salad, that scene sticks out in my mind because if I didn't know you, I'd be like, this girl is being so mean right now, just like eating her food. He's talking and she's like, I don't give a shit. But knowing you, I know you were like, I'm hungry. I need to finish my salad and then we could talk. So I like to see things like that because knowing you guys makes it more fun. But that's a very unique experience since not everyone knows you personally.
And I think like when I remember when we were first watching, like probably the first month, I was so invested in reading like all the Facebook, Reddit, like all the comments. Even maybe the first like couple months were really hard. Like I couldn't watch it as like lackadaisical, if you will, as I can now. Because I was so invested in like having a bad edit or like that's not what I remember living or like wanting like justice. And I remember by the time we got to the end of the season, Nicole, I'll never forget when we were watching like I don't know if it was Where Are They Now or before that maybe, and we were like, this is boring. Like we need some drama. I want to get some trolls. Like what's going on? So it's now you have to get like desensitized almost to how it's affecting you.
Mm-hmm.
And now I can read like the worst things on Reddit and like laugh them off. Whereas before it was really hard. I would like take it to heart or take it personally and get critical on myself. So it'd be interesting to go back now to the honeymoon and the things that happened on the honeymoon, like be able to watch it back and laugh.
Yeah.
And I think I'm not going to take it as harsh when people say things online as I did years ago. Now it's like, we're used to it.
Yeah, I do feel like I would get anxiety every Wednesday and I would get so nervous and I would start going down the rabbit hole of reading the comments and seeing like the edits or whatever. And I was in tears. Like I cried every week for like the first 2 to 3 weeks. I was like, this is awful. I can't believe this. Like, what is going on? That's not me, you know? And so I was like, I'm not interested in watching it. And that's why I'm not interested in watching it again because like, I don't even want to get myself upset, but I won't allow that to like change my energy. So whatever, y'all can watch it and have fun, you know, get your popcorn, throw popcorn at the TV, laugh at it. But I am not tuning in to our season. I'm sorry, I'm not.
We'll send you anything funny because I feel like there are things we all missed, but I do think there's a difference in watching something like binge watching it versus week by week, because when it's weekly, there's always something new every week. It's like, who messed up this week? What's the thing they're talking about this week? Oh, I'm safe this week because I didn't do anything bad or whatever. But when you're binge watching it, it's like how we do with any other dating show or Love is Blind, whatever. It's like you just watch 6 episodes at a time and you've already seen 2 weeks of things happening. So your opinion changes in a span of hours versus 3 months of episodes.
Right.
Wow, that's really interesting. I didn't even think about that.
I think about it all the time.
You kind of get lost and then you're like, oh, I missed that. That was funny.
It'll be interesting. So we're going to rewatch it and, you know, email us if you have any questions. I'm too excited about this email. I don't know why. Thank you, Christina.
From Arizona.
Tell us where you're really from.
Yeah, email us and let us know what city you're from, Christina, because we actually like really want to know.
Oh my gosh.
What if she's like, I'm from Phoenix? Like that'd be crazy.
Oh my God, that would be insane.
That would be bizarre.
I mean, I did guess my husband's name, but I'm not always that much of a psychic.
And he guessed yours.
He really did.
Weird.
Meant to be.
People don't believe it, but we truly did. And I thought it was weird because our producer kept asking me before we got married, like, what do you think your husband's name is? And I remember thinking this is such a weird question because there are how many names out there? It's like, I have no idea. It could be literally anything. So I didn't know why they kept asking. And then at one point I kept saying, well, the whole time I was saying Mike or Chris. And then I started saying, or maybe James. And I was like, why did this pop in my head? And I looked up and my cameraman that day was a man named James, who we all had a little crush on because he's so nice to look at and talk to.
Baby James.
Little baby James. I was like, oh, maybe I'm just manifesting.
Wish I would have been matched with James to marry.
Oh my gosh.
James, if you're out there listening, we miss you.
We still think you're hot.
My brain is everywhere today, so I apologize, guys, but it's a party up in here.
You say James and we all just lost our train of thought.
We're like, James with the little like dream cloud. And it's okay. Don't worry. I say this all to Chris all the time and he's like, I get it. It's fine. But we always joke when Chris has to check his phone notifications anytime he gets one. So this morning he's checking Instagram and I was like, "Ooh, any girls?" Like obviously just being silly. And he had one message from some girl he didn't know. I was like, "Ooh, a girl." And he clicked on it and it said all lowercase, "Let's bang." When I tell you, I have not laughed that hard.
my
We were
gosh.
both dying laughing. And he was like, I don't know her. And I was like, no, obviously you don't know her. I'm not upset. And she wasn't a bot. Like she had a real page.
Shoot your shot, honey.
It was all lowercase, no exclamations, no period, no question mark, no follow up. It was just let's bang. We were dying.
What did Chris reply back? Did he say let's not?
He didn't reply.
Yeah, no.
I was like, you should reply and be like, what's up? But I just thought it was so funny. And now he's going to be nervous to check his messages. I was like, I don't care.
Let's bang.
I don't care if people message you. It's how you respond is what I care about.
That's right.
You can't control what people say to you, but you can control how you react. But now it's my new thing. Like anytime he says anything today, I was like, oh, you're going to go be with Birdie? I was getting my hair done. I'm like, you hanging out with Birdie while I'm gone?
I'll just be texting him, let's bang all day.
You should.
I'm going to text him right now. Hey, let's bang.
You'd be like, Birdie? Birdie, is that you?
That should be y'all's code word. Let's bang.
Let's bang.
It can stand for many things.
Very direct.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
I cannot stop yawning today. I'm sorry, you guys.
It's okay.
Are you low on rest?
I definitely need rest. I had my weekly Bridgestone trip last night.
What'd you see?
Justin Timberlake, boo.
Ooh.
We do the weekly concert.
I love JT.
That was the best concert I've seen this year.
Wow.
I asked my boyfriend at the end of it. We like were kind of in shock. Right when it ended, we were like, that was so good. And I asked him, I was like, was that the best concert we've been doing? He was like, yeah, I think so.
Because he's a performer.
Right.
Performer, like dancer. Really, it was like the lighting. It felt like you were in a Universal ride the whole time.
Mhm.
Like there's a massive light up stage. Like everything was just like moving around and just trippy. It was really cool.
That's why I enjoy going to concerts is to watch the full production because I used to dance
Yeah,
and
it
I
was
used to
the
do
production.
shows. Yeah, so I enjoyed the full production, lighting, the dancing, like you said, the stages, the movement of the stages, rotating. Like that's all exciting. I'm glad y'all had a great time.
Now I got the yawns.
Yeah, I'm running low on rest too. I've been sick all week, so I'm like tired, but I wanted to go last night, but I knew I wasn't going to be able to make it. And I was like, I don't know how much these tickets are, but I don't believe in paying that much for concert tickets.
We luck out because they're literally free. Like all of these shows that we go to, we don't pay for because I'm his date and he goes for work.
I'm like, where are his friends that need a date so I can go to all the concerts?
Maybe you get sick and I'm his date.
I know everyone's always like, can we go? I'm like, it's literally clients. So it's like clients that bank get the tickets and we go because we have to welcome them in. So there's always like a host.
I'm a client that banks there. I bank there.
Great. Well, now you just have to invest.
Oh, okay.
She's putting too many steps.
I know, right?
I just want to go to a darn concert.
Tell him to schedule a meeting with me tomorrow so I can start investing.
Yeah, so you can be his client.
Yeah.
You have a photo shoot and an event tomorrow and you're sick and you probably have 14 other things. No one has more plans in a day than Kirsten. And one of my best friends from home, she has more plans in a day than anyone in the world, but you have her beat. So it's impressive how you can make these plans and actually attend everything. But your body is probably like, sit down.
Mm-hmm.
Stop. Rest.
Mm-hmm.
That's me. Mine's not plans. It's task list. It's like bing, bing, bing,
Yeah.
bing, 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 all day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a task girly, but most of my things are home. Like I can probably stay home for an entire week and still have a million things on my list. But Kirsten, I feel like you're a doer in places.
Yeah, and I don't like to stay home. I'm like, why am I here? The only time I like to be home is to shower and to go to bed.
No, I love to be home.
Really? Mm-mm.
Yes.
I don't like being at home.
Home is where the heart is. Which, it's like I keep forgetting what I want to talk about and then I say something.
You just segue right into
Look
it.
at you.
It's like my brain is actually working even though it's not. So, joke's on me. This is not new, but this is new to me. Did you guys know that there are 2 new love languages in the universe?
What are the 2 new ones?
So the 2 new ones are shared experiences and emotional security.
Oh.
I'm wondering like what made them, I don't even know who them is, but decide, hey, we're going to add 2 new love languages, but I'm going to read exactly what they are because I have trouble deciphering them from the existing love languages.
I'm like, is that not quality time?
Well, that's what I thought. So that's why I wanted to read it, because I feel like I won't do a good job of describing how they're different since I don't fully understand. But shared experiences focuses on adventuring and expanding yourself with someone as opposed to showing love by spending quality time together. So I guess instead of just like sitting at dinner and having a good conversation would be quality time, but taking a cooking class together or learning to play an instrument or traveling would be a shared experience. So I feel like it's kind of a subset of quality time, but just more specific. But I kind of get that because I don't care what I'm doing with the people I love as long as I'm with them. So I don't really think I need shared experiences, but I do need quality time.
Where I would think that now that that's one, it might be my top.
Interesting.
Because I love like traveling and experiencing new things with somebody.
Me too. I do too. Love it.
Like you don't even know someone until you travel with them.
100%.
That is like a totally new ball game. So I think it's cool that you can, like, I'm just thinking about that concert last night. Like it was an experience, and we got to like share in that together, and that felt. And you can tell even with my boyfriend, he's like, I really want you to come. Like if it is something he like really wants me there.
Like think about being on Married at First Sight. For us, I mean, these love languages are not necessarily just romantic relationship involved, but we had this shared experience, and that's why we're so close, because we didn't just spend 8, 12, whatever weeks together. We shared a giant experience for 8 to 12 weeks.
That no one else like can relate to. Like
Right.
it's something so special that only if you were there, you really truly know what it was like, which is cool. That is a way of like, I think, truly connecting with someone. I like this love language.
I do too. That's my favorite.
The other one is emotional security, which is feeling emotionally seen and taken care of, which is different than seeking validation, affirmation, or praise, because those who resonate with emotional security need to feel like when they take their walls down, their partner will listen to them and respect their true emotions. But this one actually sits very highly with me over words of affirmation, because I always said I liked words of affirmation because that's how I feel that security, but words don't mean as much as the action. So having that emotional security and having the feeling versus hearing the words is more impactful to me personally. So even though they're kind of similar, I like emotional security better than words of affirmation.
And I feel like as of right now, where I am in this season of my life, these two, like the shared experience and emotional intelligence and connection, are super important to me. Those are like top 2 of all times.
I know. I'm like, do we have top 2 love languages?
Yeah. Because it's like you want to enjoy every moment with your partner or with your friends or with your family. Like, and you want it to be meaningful as well. So it's like, and memorable. Like, oh my gosh. Like, even like with the cruise, like that was a highlight of my year this year. Like going on the cruise with my family. And then like another shared experience for me this year was running the 5K for the first time. Like, with my friends and family. Like those are shared highlight experiences that, you know, you get to share with somebody you love.
Yeah, I think for me, it's not that I don't like shared experiences, but I see those as a bonus. If I'm hanging out with you two, and even this podcast, like, yes, this is technically an experience, but I look at it as us just taking our friendship public and having the conversations we normally would in a public forum. So this to me is quality time because we're talking, we're having these great conversations. So if we were to do this on a cruise, that would be way better, but it wouldn't make this experience any less meaningful, if that makes sense. So it's like doing things together is nice and I enjoy it, but I could just be sitting there hanging out, and just spending the time together would be meaningful enough to me. But
Right.
I guess doing things is really fun. It's like you can't just sit around all day, every day.
It is fun.
I mean, that's fun too.
And speaking of, so the show Nobody Wants This, I thought it was so cute that her and her sister had the podcast, remember, on the show, and it made me think of us. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so funny, because it's like they have regular, you know, conversations, day-to-day lifestyle, and it was so funny when they had that man in there trying to read their energy. And I was like, now, why would they bring that man in here? But I don't know. I think it's pretty cool to be able to share, this podcast together and actually like be consistent too. Like we are on episode
27.
We'll have to do a big celebration when we hit episode 30. That's a big deal.
Yeah, it's a milestone. Our podcast love language is shared experiences. So we're sharing this experience. But going back to Nobody Wants This, I loved that show. Kristen Bell could literally paint a wall and watch it dry, and I would watch her do that. So I loved it. But it's based on a real life Hollywood couple. It's not quite the same story, but I thought that was so cool how they took the idea of a real life couple and made it into this story. And it already got renewed for a season 2. So that's how you know. It like wasn't even finished airing, or it had just come out and they renewed it.
I'm going to watch that this weekend. I haven't watched it yet.
Do watch. It's so cute. I was crying on every episode, like sobbing. I'm a sucker for love.
I did watch the Martha Stewart documentary.
Oh my gosh. I love Martha Stewart. That is my girl. Like, super fan.
Her relationship with Snoop Dogg, I'm obsessed.
I love her relationship.
So funny.
Yes. But the thing I love most, like after watching Martha Stewart's documentary, is like I felt so inspired because she was a self-made billionaire. Like she built her business. I was like, oh wow, she is just incredible. I was just motivated after that, but I did feel like had she, and they advised her to do so, had she not built her business around her name, her stock wouldn't have plunged and she still would have had the money that she worked hard for. But she built herself back up and she got back on the map, her and Snoop Dogg. SNOOPDOGG. Had to think about that.
I was saying this to Chris the other day. If Martha Stewart and Snoop Dogg could go back to their 18, 20-year-old selves and tell them what they would be like now, would they even believe it? Like, to tell Martha Stewart, maybe not when she was 18, but when she was first starting out, like, you're going to make all this money, you're going to lose it, you're going to go to jail, you're going to be smoking pot and cooking stuff with Snoop Dogg, I think her mind would explode. And to tell Snoop Dogg, who was like shooting people up, you're going to be doing the Olympics comedy,
living his best life. Like I was so jealous of Snoop Dogg out in Paris. I was like, I want to be him right now. He was able to talk to every Olympian. Like he was able to like support them. He was cheering them on. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm supposed to be there. Like he was living his best life.
Y'all know I saw Snoop Dogg this year.
Where'd you see him?
On my Bridgestone dates.
He was in the suite with you?
Of course you did.
No.
You hung out with Snoop Dogg?
No, I didn't hang out with Snoop Dogg.
That's the story I'm going to tell myself. That's so cool.
Yes. He was a guest with Jelly Roll at the Jelly Roll concert.
Jelly Roll has been on the scene.
He's on the scene. Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban did accidentally walk in our suite, though. She was embarrassed. It's like an ongoing joke in our house now. We're like, remember that time that Nicole Kidman was like embarrassed in front of us?
Gina, I feel like you're officially a C-lister. Like you're no longer a D-lister. Like
get off this podcast.
Right.
Because I watched Snoop Dogg in concert.
And because everybody's walking to your suites.
She walked in, and on Halloween, we were like, have we seen a ghost?
Is it a costume?
It was crazy.
Jelly Roll was at the Titans game last Sunday.
I didn't know you were there, Kirsten. It's like the one day we didn't talk about what we were doing, and Kirsten and I were in the same place at the same time, and Dom was there. Also, I'm just going to talk about my husband today because I love that guy. He's been traveling for work a lot recently, so when he comes home, I realize how much I miss him because he's very funny. We saw Wicked a few weeks ago, and I constantly perform for him. I perform the songs, I do dances, I sing. It's a whole thing in our house. And this morning, I was singing What Is This Feeling, which is one of my favorite songs.
So sudden and new.
Loathing. I'm not going to do it for you guys.
Do it. Come on.
What is this feeling?
I'll do it for you guys tomorrow, okay? Because it's like a whole thing. I can't do it sitting in a chair. So I do my whole performance, and I was like, what'd you think? And he was like, you're not going to do the book thing? And I was like, what's the book thing? I don't know if he's watched videos or he just has a good memory, but he has learned. He's like holding the books, doing a little dance move. He was like, yeah, I sashay. And he was dancing, doing this whole little routine. He's like, you're not going to do the book dance? So I'm going to have to learn the book dance. Maybe it's funnier if you're there, but he's just sashaying around the house.
He's going to be like, do not share that with humans.
I mean, I'm going to take a video of him and put it on the internet, of course, because who would I be if I wasn't here to embarrass my husband? But it's just so funny. And I'll be upstairs in my office and he'll be downstairs. And I know he's on Instagram and I just hear him going through reels and it's all Wicked songs. He's like, oh, my whole feed is Wicked. whose fault is that? Not mine. It goes based on what you're looking at, babe.
So I still have to go watch Wicked. I have not seen it yet.
I'll see it with you.
One of my friends and I are going to see it on the 19th, and I forgot to put it in my calendar.
Well, there you go. But now you'll know
Finally happening.
when you see the book dance.
I probably can watch it at home now. You know how you can go ahead and just buy the movies like on Amazon or something?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they won't do that yet with this one because it's so big in the theaters and they're doing sing-along versions, which I thought about going to, but I don't need to hear everyone else singing. I want to hear me and I want to hear the people in the movie. I don't want to hear strangers singing it.
You are so funny, Nicole. I live to listen to you.
Well, that makes me feel special because sometimes I listen to these podcast episodes and I'm like, God, Nicole, shut up. There's 3 of you and you don't shut your mouth. But if you like listening to me,
I do.
that's all that
You're
matters.
funny.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a short and sweet one tonight, but we are really happy that you guys are still tuning in and listening. And email us or message us on Instagram, but emails obviously make us very happy. So email us at dlistdiaries@gmail.com or message us on Instagram and let us know what else you want us to talk about. If you have anything from the Married at First Sight episodes that you really want us to talk about, I guess we will, but snoozy. That's all, folks. So thanks for listening and have a great week, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.